Writing resumes. It can be especially complex if you are starting out in a new role. For example, if you're transitioning into a Scrum Master role and you're not really sure what to actually put into your resume and how to present your skills in such a way that your potential employer sees that you would be able to perform the Scrum Master role. However, it doesn't really matter whether you are becoming a Scrum Master or any other role. There are some things that I generally recommend doing when creating resumes. And today I wanted to show you some of the tips and tricks. And I also wanted to see if AI can be helpful in this case to help me create a good resume for a Scrum Master role. So I will be using ChatGPT as well to help me with that. Let's jump in. Hey, it's Daria here. Welcome. In this video, as I said in the intro, we will be using ChatGPT in creating a Scrum Master resume, but I also will be giving you some tips on how to not only just write the text, but actually structure your resume in such a way that it attracts your potential employer, and really just sharing some of my tips and tricks and how I do it so that you can do it too. Let's jump into ChatGPT and ask it to write a resume for us. Here I am in ChatGPT. As you can see on the left side, I have lots of different things that I've been doing, kind of asking ChatGPT to help me with some things and really just testing out. Let's just ask it straightforward. Can you create me a Scrum Master resume? We'll give it a go to just wait for it to create all of the text. Now, what I know is that I have talked with some people who have used this, and it did create pretty good resume itself. However, what happened is that if you actually re-ask the same prompt from ChatGPT by a different person, it will technically create pretty much the same resume every time. So it's very, very similar, which means that you can only use this as inspiration, but really just to give you some ideas of what are some of the skills that you would want to highlight in your resume. But it is really not just kind of copy and paste overall. So look into that and take this information with a grain of salt, but also really just as inspiration for yourself. So what are some of the things that are already said? So a summary, it's always good to have a summary. And here it says results-oriented Scrum Master with some experience, agile development teams. Okay, some good things in here. Skilled in facilitating Scrum ceremonies. Unfortunately, it also is using the correct language. But I guess having the word ceremonies in your resume is fine, is even maybe good, because then the machines that are searching for specific keywords, they most likely are searching for the word ceremonies. Fostering collaboration, removing impediments. So all of this seems to be pretty good. It talks about stakeholders as well. Always good to have it. Now let's look into some professional experience. Facilitated daily stand-ups. Unfortunately, it also is taking the information from the web, and it's clear that daily stand-ups is more known than daily scrum, which is the correct name of calling daily stand-ups. They are called daily scrums. Sprint reviews and retrospectives, coach and mentor the team in agile principles, practices, and Scrum framework, self-organization. Some really good words in here, right? Identify and resolve impediments, team project momentum, worked closely with the product owner, always good thing to highlight if you have this experience. Implement and maintain agile metrics, definitely a good thing to highlight if you do have experience with metrics, whether it's velocity or if it's value metrics, that could be even better if you have some experience with more of like the product value type of metrics. Continuous improvement, effective decision making, etc. So as you can see, this only gave me just one experience that kind of highlights the key responsibilities of a Scrum Master, and you can definitely look into that and take it as some inspiration. Some skills, agile methodologies, which they're not really methodologies. I think maybe agile ways of working, and then we can say Scrum framework, Kanban method, agile project management tools. Okay, that's good. Team collaboration and communication tools. I really don't think that this is necessary. I think highlighting the project management tools is good, especially for companies that are using tools like Jira, because they don't really want to spend their time on teaching you how to use them. They want someone who knows how to use them. And often they actually don't know how to use them. So they are looking for someone who can come in and help their teams use them more effectively. At this one, though, it kind of feels unnecessary, who cannot really use Slack or Microsoft Teams. I wouldn't put it here at all in any resume, to be honest. Continuous integration and delivery practices, that's really good. CI/CD or software development lifecycle, agile metrics and reporting, and what it is actually missing. So it says technical skills. I think it is actually missing some soft skills. Yes, we talk about them in here. And by the way, if you want to learn more about the skills that a Scrum Master should have, I do have some videos. I'm going to put them in the description. I think that I have a video that is called like 4 key skills a Scrum Master must have. Anyway, so these are the technical skills, but we also want to have some soft skills. Right? What are some of the things that we definitely would want to add? Well, facilitation. Yes, I know that it is written down right here, but we want to have some ways for the recruiter to actually quickly jump from word to word and see the key skills that you're bringing in. Let's be honest, no one is actually reading through the whole resume ever. So you would want to highlight things like facilitation, coaching, teaching, mentoring. You can highlight things like stakeholder management. I think there is some of the stakeholder management. You can highlight things like product backlog management because you worked with a product owner. Things like that you definitely want to add. A conflict resolution, another good thing to highlight as extra skills, right? The soft skills that add on this list, really. Certifications, certified Scrum Master or professional Scrum Master, or any other well-recognized certification, maybe licensed Scrum Master. But pay attention to where you get your certifications. If you haven't seen my video on Scrum Study, I encourage you to go and watch it just so that you know how easy it is to kind of get a certification that actually is not as valuable as you might think it is. Like you see additional information, strong problem solving and decision making skill, excellent interpersonal and communication skills. Like, why is it here? I would definitely put it into the skills section. So let's try something different, because I was thinking, say you are transitioning from a different role and you want to take the experience from that role and highlight it in a Scrum Master resume. Can ChatGPT actually help us with that? Let's try. So the question I'm going to ask, I think, is, can you create a Scrum Master resume for someone transitioning from business analyst role? This is something that often happens. I think that can be relevant. Okay, so I kind of went a little bit crazy with my prompt. I've been experimenting a lot with ChatGPT and really adjusting my prompts to give it as much information as possible. Let's see if it can actually do something with it. Let's see. Okay, so it kind of changes the information at the summary, results-driven business analyst transitioning into the Scrum Master role, bringing X number of years of experience in analyzing processes, facilitating requirements gathering, driving project success, problem solving, communication, collaboration, obviously very relevant skills. Doesn't matter whether you're a Scrum Master or a business analyst. Passionate about agile ways of working. So why I definitely would recommend, if you are transitioning from a different role, is to add something into the summary, into the objective that you're trying to achieve, that explains why you don't have any experience and actually highlights why you want to become a Scrum Master. That it's not like you're a business analyst and you're just applying for a Scrum Master role because you maybe don't even understand what the role is, but you actually are consciously applying to a Scrum Master role, even though you currently only have business analyst experience. That is good to have this objective and explanation in the summary. Honestly, I think a lot of recruiters only read just a few lines, the key lines in your resume. So here, I would even highlight certain words, right? So that people have these certain words that they can immediately see. And I'll also show you how you can highlight certain words to make sure that the person reading your resume actually sees the most important information you want them to see. Yeah, so it has just one business analyst experience, professional experience in here. Let's see, requirements, stakeholder, some good things here. Stakeholders, collaborated with cross-functional teams. We can see that some key terms are being used in here. We talked about objectives, success criteria, alignment, business goals, all the good things. Here, for example, facilitated workshops and meeting together and validate requirements. So is it necessarily something related to the Scrum Master role. Well, no, right? The Scrum Master might never need to facilitate a workshop or meeting like that. But a Scrum Master is a facilitator. So if you have an experience facilitating some kind of discussions or workshops, especially with stakeholders, highlight it because it is relevant. Applied critical thinking, problem solving, played a key role in bringing the gap between business and technical teams. Very good. This is such a good thing right here. And look, there are a lot of skills, soft skills that are maybe not necessarily Scrum Master related, but they're very relevant and definitely are needed for a Scrum Master. So this is one of them, and being able to bridge the gap between business and technical. Now, I would also say that if you have, say you're a business analyst, but you are working with a Scrum team or with Agile teams, kind of with different teams basically that are maybe implementing Scrum and Agile. As I said in one of my videos, put it somewhere in the description or somewhere here on the screen, I was talking about the ways how you can gain relevant Scrum Master experience even if you're not a Scrum Master. So if you're, say, a business analyst and you are working next to Scrum and Agile teams, that is awesome because it gives you an opportunity to earn some of that experience by maybe just coming in and working with those teams, maybe just attending their events if you can, maybe shadowing their Scrum Master, right? And that way you can bring this information into your resume as well. Say if you have attended sprint planning, reviews, dailies, right? You can actually put that information here, and then those keywords will be found by search engines. Okay, business analysis methodologies. This I don't really know. Obviously, I'm not a business analyst, so for those of you who are, probably a good thing to add. Requirements, elicitation on documentation, stakeholder management. I would even put the stakeholder management up front. Process mapping and improvement, very good. Collaboration and communication tools, once again, right? We can put in even more specifically how we put it in here, that would say agile project management tools, right? And then collaboration, communication, like Confluence. User acceptance testing, always good thing. Agile principles and methodologies. If you have any kind of, well, it says in progress, I would say, pass the certification so that you have the certification. Because when you just say in progress, I don't know how long it's been in progress. Maybe you decided to start it like 3 years ago and you're still didn't get it. So I would say if you are doing a certification, do it and put in the certification itself on your resume. Don't just put in progress. And additional information, once again, all of these skills, I would put it into the list of skills. Now we have all of this info. Let's actually use it to create a resume. I'm actually going to give you a little cheat. So let me go into Canva. Okay, so I am here in Canva, and if you don't know what Canva is, it's a really good tool that helps you create really designs for pretty much anything. It can be documents, presentation, images, right? And resumes. So this is why I really like it. And so here we'll go in, and in just the templates across the Canva website, we can find a template for resumes. So I'm going to type in resume and let's look into what it has. There are lots of things that exist already. And why I think it is important is because when you just have a resume, say we just take in all of this text and we put it in a Word document, it is very boring. Your resume doesn't stand out and it's hard to read. You definitely need to have some kind of template, even if it's the simplest one. So here we can find a lot of different things, and a lot of them are actually free. You don't need to pay anything for them. And obviously you have some premium ones. I do not have a premium Canva account, so I usually just use whatever they have and adjust it to myself. A lot of them have images of the person, so I don't generally recommend having an image, but you can take in pretty much any of these and start using it for yourself. So let's just find something nice. Again, I'll be honest, I can spend like an hour looking through everything. Let's find the one that I used myself. I'm looking at the structure, just trying to see if it is a good fit for what we have. General recommendation while I'm looking for it is to have a resume that is no more than 2 pages. People will not read anything after page 1, to be honest. So put in the most information. Definitely don't create a resume that is more than 2 pages. Let's try something. If it's paid, all of the best ones are paid. Okay, so I spent like an hour going through all of this. I decided to go with this one. I think it looks really nice, and it's only 1 page. We don't have that much information to put into the resume, so I think we can go with this one. Going into this, as you can see, it's only 1 page. The Canva website and their software is pretty straightforward. I don't think you will have too much trouble figuring out how to work with it. So, for example, here, what I like about this resume or this structure is that separates all of the information into nice little boxes. It has some quick things that are highlighting basically the key information in here, right? Some hobbies, maybe we won't use that. I think we will use the hobbies part right here for certifications. And then it has kind of like a little logo, right? So Alexander Aronowitz, and then obviously you can change that to whatever. Now, the first thing, the most important one, is to highlight at the top of the resume who you are. And in this case, you are a Scrum Master. If you have certification, then obviously you are a certified Scrum Master. Let's put that. So certified Scrum Master right there at the top, very important. Even if you are switching, right, you want to highlight what role you're actually applying for right here, or how do you kind of identify yourself as a professional. Well, obviously the contact information. Now let's look into our summary. Let's see, I'll take in the business analyst resume. Let's take this one all in. Okay, so as you can see, it's one big blob of text, and we definitely want to change that so that it's easy to read. I would sometimes even recommend putting in bullet points in here. Let's put this in. Maybe we can break it down even a little bit like this. Okay, there you go. It looks much better. It is much easier to read, but we can make it even better. Let's actually see what we can do here. So results-driven transitioning into the role of a Scrum Master. Let's highlight this. Maybe we can highlight it in a better. No, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Okay, so we'll highlight this part in bold. Transitioning into the role of a Scrum Master for analyzing business, facilitating requirements gathering, and driving project success. Strong problem-solving, communication, and collaboration skills. Let's highlight this. Transferable skills in facilitation and process improvement. There you go. We highlighted the key information, so when the person is actually looking at it, it's easy for them to see and immediately note those words that are highlighted. Okay, Montserrat is not maybe the best font for this. No, not really. Let's maybe Canva Sans. There we go. Canva Sans, for example, looks really nice. And let's make sure that we actually then use it everywhere. I'm going to select all of the text that is right here so that you're using the same font. I know it might seem like a waste of time, but these small things and changes are actually important in how you present yourself. Okay, so I changed all of the fonts. Now everything is Canva Sans. That looks really nice. Let's see into our working experiences. So we won't need anything like this, and we can start doing like what we had, business analyst. We'll take this all in right here. Let's see. Well, it got a bit long. We definitely don't want to go into the next page. So what can we do? Let's see. We can rearrange some of the things. Maybe we can put in all of this a little bit higher on the page. Maybe like this. And then we can move all of that a little bit higher. Okay, nice. Maybe I can, there you go. Same as I said, looking into here, let's see what are some of the things that we can definitely highlight. Maybe listen to the requirements from stakeholders. Let's highlight this. Cross-functional teams, facilitated workshops. Let's highlight this one, critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Actually, no, you know what I want to highlight? Identify process bottlenecks and efficiencies and opportunities for improvement, bridging the gap between business and technical teams, project artifacts, business process flows, use cases, user story acceptance criteria. Let's highlight this. It's related to processes, actively present project planning and prioritization activities, conducted user acceptance testing, maybe collaborated with QA teams. That can be a good thing to highlight. And then flexibility and adaptability in evolving businesses. Let's highlight this. Okay, so as you can see, I highlighted some certain words. The reason I highlighted those is I believe they are highlighting some of the most important skills and just wording that is related to the Scrum Master role. So that's why I highlighted those. But there isn't right or wrong. You just want to highlight the ones that where you want people's eye really just kind of stop. And these seemed like the good choices overall. Let's look into other things. So we had skills. Now, I really like using these things, right, where you can actually kind of have different skills and evaluate yourself on those skills. Maybe it can be a good one to kind of have. But what I want to do first, first of all, education. I mean, obviously important, but maybe not right here, I guess, unless you are just coming from a university or very good university, you want to highlight it. But if not, I would put it below, because what's more important for us to highlight at the top is actually some certifications. We can put it right here. So let's put right that. So certifications, PSM 1, and then we can say scrum.org. Obviously, this definitely we don't want. Maybe let's look into some elements. Let's find something that can go. So how do you can also find icons right here. So if you go on the left side, you can go into elements and then you look for whatever you want. Let's see if we can find some graphics. A lot of them are paid, but maybe we can do stuff. We can use something super simple. Like we'll use this, obviously we need it to be in black. Okay, and so here you go, I have my certification right here. One more thing that I want to add is actually, let's put the real badge for the PSM certification. And so when you pass the certifications, obviously you will be able to download the badge for your certification. So I have this badge for PSM 1. So I'll take this. Obviously, you will be able to get it once you get the certification. And so I can put it right here. And that is pretty good because it immediately shows the information right here on that certification that you have. And it's very easy generally for someone to see it. And it's just good to have a logo right here. So we'll keep it like this. We'll need more space for skills in this case. And I actually am now thinking maybe moving that education part. So we'll have the certification educations right here, and just making sure that we are actually keeping it aligned. It is important. I know that it seems like kind of wasting time, but it is really important to make sure that things are aligned, that you don't have spelling mistakes or things like that. So definitely spend an extra second just making sure that things are aligned in here. So here we have skills, and now I think we can pretty much align this here. Perfect. And now let's look into the skills that we had in our ChatGPT. So it had some of these skills. Let's highlight the ones that are really important. Let's actually think about it. What is the most important one when we're talking about the Scrum Master role? Well, Agile and Scrum, right? Then stakeholder management. Let's see, process mapping and improvement. Not enough space. Process improvement is good enough. Maybe project management tools that we had right here. So let's see, project management tools, let's see. It's important, but I also don't want to actually have it at the top. I would put it somewhere more kind of at the bottom of the list. So I'll put it right there. And instead, let's look at other things that are important. Strong analytical and problem solving ability. So we can kind of put it here. Let's copy. We need more. We'll maybe add 2 more. 3. I think I wanted to add facilitation as well. As I talked about it, having that skill is good to highlight. So we'll say analytical and problem solving, facilitation, highly organized, quick learner and adaptable. What else can we say? Collaboration, communication tools, process improvements, and maybe presentation. So that kind of summarizes all of the information that we would want to put in. As you can see, it is well arranged. It is easy to read. And let's actually zoom out to see kind of the overall how it looks. Right, so as you can see, it looks really nice. It is easy to read. We can immediately see the parts of the resume that are the most important. And then obviously, if you want to have another page, say you want to add something extra, you can just click on add page. And then let's say we want to actually let's not add page. Let's actually copy this one. So we can duplicate the page here at the top right corner. And then we have the same page, obviously, but we don't need the same information. And so let's say we are kind of starting out from a new page and we start something like this. Let's see what it would be. Say you want to add extra experience. So we selected all of that. I was holding shift to do that. And now we have work and experiences, and then we can say continues. And we can add extra information. So if I select this, I drag it all the way down. I can add other things in here. Maybe you want to add additional information, whether it's work experiences, other certifications, other skills and things like that, or maybe additional links you want people to go and look for. You can, for example, find here references provided upon request. Right, we can put it here, and then we can say maybe links, something like that. And then you can basically, let's put it right there, LinkedIn, and then you can add a link. Maybe you are active on other platforms that you want people to see. Maybe you have a Medium account. Maybe you have your own website where you present your work. So whatever that is, you can kind of put it all in here for that second part. I'll add the link to this in the description, so that way you would be able to kind of check it out and maybe use it as well for your resume. So here we have our resume, it is ready. So what do we do? Well, where do we go from here? Well, in the top right corner, you can actually share it and you can download the resume and you can select the PDF standard. And you can just download. You can either download all of the pages or just certain pages. But basically, this is kind of what you can do. You download it. Let's keep it real quick. Let's see how it looks. So I downloaded the PDF file, and as we open it, it looks really good, really nice resume. This is just a PDF file. Of course, having an actual information or text that we have created right here is also good, so that you can easily copy paste it, because sometimes some systems do require you to paste just text resume. So having two versions, the text resume and the PDF, is definitely an important way to kind of proceed with creating your resume. What do you think? Do you think that ChatGPT helped us create a good resume or not? I mean, obviously it is very limited in what it can do. It can just give you some ideas and inspiration. Don't just copy and paste, because, well, it's really not good if you're just copying and pasting, because look, you're gonna go into the interview and people will ask you questions on what is written in there. And if you actually don't know and cannot speak to any of those experiences, you're in big trouble. I think that using AI tools can be very beneficial. It can help you, at least give you some ideas of where to start, so you're not starting with a blank page. And then tools like Canva can help you make much better, more designed and more thoughtful resumes and other documents. And as I said, Canva can help you with many different things, including some presentations and maybe some documents apart from the resume. This was just a quick overview of how you can create a resume, where you can find the information and how you can stand out. Also, I wanted to highlight here that it doesn't need to be a Scrum Master role that you are going from. If you are coming from a different position, you can look into the skills, the transferable skills, the soft skills that you can take with you and that you can highlight on your resume. And the last thing is that when you are transitioning, it is good to have a summary that explains why you want to become a Scrum Master, what kind of skills you can bring in if you don't have the experience, and all the relevant things as well. Of course, if you are a Scrum Master with experience, you want to highlight the most important areas of your expertise there. In the summary, I think having a summary always helps. So having a few bullet points in there. I've been using it for years now, and it works really well, because once again, no one's going to read through your whole resume. Definitely make it 1 to 2 pages max. and organize it in such a way that it's easily readable. As I mentioned, there are a couple of videos that I have on this topic that I'm going to add in the description in the playlist basically for becoming a Scrum Master that has all of that information, different videos on the skills, interview questions, and all of that jazz. And also wanted to quickly highlight that whether you're just starting out or you're already working with teams, I have lots of great products that can be extremely valuable to you as a Scrum Master or someone working with agile teams overall on the Scrum Master store. I'm going to put the link in the description. If you are just starting out right now and you really need help to kind of get started, figure out what do you do on a day-to-day, and also understand how do you even start up a Scrum team, well, I have a Scrum Master Startup Guide, which is a great guide that kind of walks you through from day one to basically your entire day-to-day of a Scrum Master and a Scrum team. We look into how to create schedules for your sprints, how to organize all of the events, how to facilitate them, and really just kind of a daily activity list so that you stay focused on what's the most important so that you can help your team and organization improve. I hope you learned something new today, and if you did, remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers and Scrum on!